Talk to any old figure in your life. They'll give you some advice which you'll believe is nothing more than general wisdom. This idea is false. I read somewhere that whenever one gives another some advice, most of the time, it's just them trying to communicate and give it to their past self. Hence, instead of being ignorant and taking their words and experiences for granted, try to extract the golden nuggets from them. In today's isolated world, it's usual to not have those beacons of guidance in your life. If that's the case with you, I'm here to share with you the lessons most learn way too late. It doesn't matter how old or young you are, you can benefit from these stoic wisdoms. Let's get into it. 1. Be the first to forgive. If I tell you that life is going to be a breeze and there won't be people who make you want to punch a hole in the wall, I would be lying to you. I'm a firm believer of disappointing someone with the truth than to falsely please someone with a lie. There are going to be people who will make your life hell, who will backstab you, mock your trust and goodwill, push you to extremes you didn't know existed. Despite all of that, I still want you to forgive each and every one of them. You heard that right. You might hate these people with all of your life's force, but you must still have the strength and courage to forgive and move on. To clarify, I'm not saying you become best pals with them. They've shown you their true colors. That should be sufficient to decide you must part ways and not let remnants of them linger on in your existence. When you forgive, you're simply cutting the threads which still attach you to them. Hence, forgive and move on. 2. Grasp the true value of wisdom and knowledge. Many young folks ask me all the time, what is it that I should be focusing on? Should I focus on making more money? Or should I focus on getting bigger muscles? My answer is always going to be one. To live a truly fulfilling life, one must focus on acquiring knowledge and make that the purpose of their lives. If you think about it, studying and gaining knowledge is the only thing which separates humans from animals. There are both strong and weak animals. There are both genetically advantaged and disadvantaged animals. But never will you see an animal acquire knowledge from anywhere but its own experiences. As humans, we're the only ones in the entire universe, as far as we know, who possess this ability. So, if you're not capitalizing on it, I don't know what to say of you. It's like having a camera but not taking any pictures with it. Like having a phone but still being disconnected from those trying to contact you. Sure, you're alive, but you're not alive as a human. You're alive as an animal who follows routines and habits till it eventually passes away. When you focus on learning and opening your mind to the amount of information we as a species have been able to generate, you'll get most of the things people chase nowadays. The money will come since you're more knowledgeable. 3. Take responsibility for your life. I'm sure we all know of somebody who keeps whining about how bad their luck is. They'll point fingers for all their misfortune on others. I truly pity those individuals since they don't even know it, but they're subliminally ruining their lives by not willing to self-reflect. Brothers, it's very important to take as much responsibility for your life as you can, maybe even 95%. The other 5% you can leave it to chance. Maybe a storm came on the day of your all-important interview, making you miss it. There are times where things are absolutely out of your control. But the fact remains, the majority of the instances in your life are within your control. If your relationship is going downhill, there's two ways of looking at it. One is to point fingers outwards and simply come to the conclusion that she's losing feelings for you, so the decline of the relationship is on her. The other is to actually reflect and wonder why it is that you and your partner are getting distant. I'm only giving the example of a relationship for now, but the same idea applies to every other sector of your life. Whatever trajectory your life is on, you and only you are responsible. The quicker you realize it, the quicker you can start steering it how you want and not be a dead leaf, being flown around as the wind pleases. 4. Understand the reality of material pursuits. When we're mere children, we have the innate ability to imitate. That's how one primarily learns the basics of life. As crucial as this ability is in our early years, the more detrimental it becomes as we grow older. It's important one grows out of it and recognizes their independence as a human and the incredible trait of having free will. If you're unable to do that, then you're only setting yourself up for the next 70 years of trying to fit in. You'll incur major debt to acquire things, not for any particular need, but simply to be able to boast, for mere comparisons in your social circle. Not only is that a never-ending chase, it shows a much deeper problem: the lack of an actual identity one could be proud of, resulting in needing to have associations to feel valued. You might be wondering, well, if I'm to detach myself from materialistic pursuits, what do I pursue? I've already told you the answer earlier in the video. The key is seeking out more knowledge. Be on a quest to learn and understand more. That's 10 times more human than purchasing more Gucci to show off your value. That's a trait you'll commonly see in animals. Male penguins, for example, try to find the perfect pebble to show their value and attract a partner. That's why I say, we might all be humans, but we have two kinds of humans living amongst us. One group is just human animals, who live with the same traits as animals, but they're just in the human form. The others are actual humans, who possess the ability to think, learn, and unlearn. Emphasis on the ability to unlearn. As a human, you must be able to question what you already know and unlearn. You can only do such a thing when you're open to different perspectives and willing to acknowledge their validity in respect to somebody else's experience. Lastly, 5. Study your emotions, not feel. Think about how many times your emotions put you in worse situations than you were already in. Like the time you lashed out on your colleague due to a completely unrelated problem going on at the back of your mind. I'm not a perfect human being either, so I'll give my own example. Many years ago, I found myself in an argument with one of those people who argue only for the sake of arguing. Not having much experience, I ended up smashing my own phone on the table in front of me. Was it a stupid action based on primal instincts? By all means, yes. My frustration cooled down in 10 minutes, but my phone was eternally broken. Now, I had to drop hundreds of bucks to get a new one. That experience taught me a crucial lesson I'm yet to forget after all those years. You shouldn't feel your emotions. That's a recipe for disaster. You should simply study them. When you find yourself getting overly agitated, do a quick scan to identify what's causing the uneasiness. Then, take action, which will mitigate those feelings. If it's a situation you're in, excuse yourself for 5 minutes. Gather your thoughts and make conscious decisions, not what you think you should be saying or doing at the heat of the moment. To put it briefly, when you feel something, try getting to the bottom of it. Think of yourself as a researcher, and your study subject is your own emotions. With that said, that'll be all for today's video. I hope you found value in the message. You can support the channel down below with a like, comment, and by subscribing. It's surely appreciated. Thank you for tuning in and see you in the next one. Stay blessed.